So I just put up a video of somebody who was looking into the financials for Turning Point, and this stood out to me. If you put it in numbers terms, 110. Because I had just done a video about how an address that where Charlie Kirk's mother works, except that it also happens to be the same address that her husband, supposedly Charlie Kirk's dad, has his architect company that's been there for 38 years. So this stood out to me because I'm like 110, because that address is 1100. It just, I don't know, it stood out to me. So I'm like, I know this like Elk Grove Village, which is supposedly where Charlie Kirk's mother works out of. No, she works out of this. She has the same address where her husband, Charlie Kirk's parents, have their architect company, yet she's an LCPC, a licensed counselor. But that's not what that building is at all. Charlie Kirk's mother, supposedly. I think this is Elizabeth Yulian. That's what I think it is. I did that in my other video, so I don't want to get hung up there. When you go further down, as this is the address, see, it just reminded me 110. I know it's 1100, but it stood out to me because this same address where she works, it just happens to be the same address where Charlie Kirk's dad works. Yeah, except that's not what this building is at all. Because when you MapQuest this address, it brings you to this company, Gulo International Development. Yeah, I said in my other, I'm like, they're all effing shell companies. Charlie Kirk was so, Charlie Kirk, he probably was worried about, because he's been tied with the underworld. You'll understand. So this is actually that address, Gulo International Development. Yeah. So supposedly that Group A architecture is here, which is where for 38 years Charlie Kirk's dad, who supposedly did work for Trump Tower, or Trump's buildings, that's where his dad's architecture or business is, Group A architecture. But I looked into them even when Charlie was alive. I'm like, there's nothing you could find. It's like it's just a shell company. But this is also apparently not only where his dad works, but where his mother works as a licensed counselor. And yet she's on the Illinois Professional Regulation Board as a licensed counselor. So that will need to be investigated at some point, the nursing board, all of it. Really, I want the whole thing taken down. They're all corrupt. Such bullshit. So Gulo International Development Corporation, which is apparently in Elk Grove Village at that address, but it's like a sister company to Italy. What do you know? And all tied to the damn Vatican. All always goes back to the Vatican. As I said, all roads always lead to Rome. So this is Giovanni Gulo, who started buying and developing land for commercial and industrial clients in Elk Grove Village in 1968. He was pursuing a family ambition. The story of how Gulo transformed himself from an 18-year-old Sicilian-born immigrant to one of the largest industrial and commercial landholders and developers in the greater O'Hare region has its origins in inspirational saying passed along from past generations, which translates roughly as a house as small as needed and land as far as you can see. So there's Giovanni Gulo. Yeah, I mean, they've done so many articles about him because he is one of the this was back in Chicago Tribune 2001, one of the largest industrial developers and landlords in O'Hare International Airport area, but he is not one to rest on laurels. There is still too much to demand, especially for his commercial development in the northwest suburbs. God, why? And you know why, God? Like, because I know all this area, okay? I know the northwest suburbs. So this Elk Grove Village, where supposedly Charlie Kirk's mom works at, that's really this Gulo International, and that's supposedly his dad's architecture business too. So I know the Prospect Heights, Wheeling, okay, that's all northwest area. And Alexian Brothers, it's all tied into it, Alexian Brothers Hospital, but Alexian Brothers Catholic Dominion, I'll get to it. An entrepreneurial spirit nurtured as a youngster in Sicily, where he says you almost had to be in business for yourself to earn a living, still drives the 56-year-old soft-spoken Gulo. I like to see growth to make a company bigger and more enjoyable. Yeah, do you? Why you got your company there? What? So you have an international development company in the Gulo International Development Building in Elk Grove Village. You also, that building serves a Group A architecture and Charlie Kirk's mom to do counseling? Yeah? Really? Wow. When he came to the United States at 17, Gulo worked for $50 per week as a busboy while attending school to learn English. He later worked as an auto mechanic for 3 years. He turned from the grime of repair shops and joined a brother in the decorating business. Oh yeah, you know, just it's so like it screams mob affiliation. All of this does. But it goes on to say that since the early 1970s, Gulo has developed 10 million square feet of commercial and industrial space, currently holds leases on 1.2 million square feet, most in the Elk Grove Village Business Park. Wow. Well, of course, then that's why, you know, Charlie Kirk's dad's business is in Elk Grove Village, but it's not really his dad. We have no idea who Charlie Kirk's parents are. He's tied to the underworld. But they're also, this is all tied up into Europe, everything. I mean, it is so. His holdings now include Gulo International Development Corp., along with a Realty Group, and Gulo Worldwide, a business development corporation. He also owns 3 Point Construction Company, which does most of his building construction. Euro Glass, yeah, it's tied to it's tied to international student migration, you know, like international student exchange, because they're into all this. Yeah, of course, absolutely, of course. And so on, right here, it's one of the reviews. Like when I went to MapQuest, that's where the sister cities office is located. Wonderful. Well, yeah, the sister cities of. See, sister cities. And they're at the international. They're at O'Hare. So it's this whole. It's so dirt. I just wish we could shut the border down permanently. I do. I just stop all of it, because I'm so sick of everybody taking advantage. That's what this bullshit is. You know, you pay the town, Elk Grove Village, and this Termini, Immerse, Italy. Yeah, that's in Italy. But it's a sister of Elk Grove Village. Oh, great. I mean, it's all about this. It's all about serving the rest of the effing world, okay? Screw the Americans. Just come over here, pillage the land, do whatever the fuck you want. I'm sick of it all. I think Americans are like at their breaking point with all of your bullshit. And see, Giovanni Gulo building a better image. No, don't think so, okay? But the fact that, yeah, I'll have to do a whole nother video, because Alexian Brothers, that goes into the Catholic end of it. The Catholic, you know, Sicilian Brotherhood, because the Catholic Church has been nothing but a syndicate from day one, okay? But that also became a hospital. I'll have to do another video.